They're shocked that you're doing what they least expected. Because you are. Welcome to my channel, guys. This is MamiSoTrue. I am a survivor, now thriver, post-narcissistic abuse. If you're new here, I welcome you to this channel. Make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, guys. And of course, please share your thoughts below in the comments section. In the description box, you'll find all the information you need to book certified life coaching sessions with me. Contact me, find me on other platforms, whatever you're looking for. Even MamiSoTrue merchandise link is below in the description box for you. In this video, we're just going to chat briefly because, hey, maybe you don't know. Maybe you need to know. They're in shock that you're doing exactly what they least expected you to do. See, if you've dealt with a narcissist, whether family or a fake manipulation ship of a marriage or whatever you want to call it, you were in exactly what I just said. It was a manipulation ship. You were being manipulated. You were being used. This person was trying to strip you of your identity and make you look at yourself as if you're insignificant. You have no value. No one loves you. No one wants you. You're the problem. Whatever it is. This person had you constantly questioning yourself. Maybe even blaming yourself for things that was not your fault. They had you constantly looking at yourself as if you were looking for flaws, and it was exhausting to do that. If you've dealt with a narcissist, you know how exhausting it is to constantly have to prove yourself to someone who doesn't even see you or understand you in levels that that a healthy human being or a real human being should understand another human being at. Instead, narcissists like to dehumanize you. They like to make you feel crazy. They like to make you feel angry. They like to make you feel bitter, full of rage. They like to make you look at yourself as if you're just not good enough. This is what they live for. A narcissist is thriving if you're beating yourself up. A narcissist feels great and they feel and look like a winner if you're down and depressed and you are looking at yourself like a loser. If you believe the lies that they feed you, they're winning. Narcissists are cold-hearted, wicked, dark-souled people. They don't ever have good intentions for anyone that's in their life. They don't fight for their relationships. They don't fight for their children. They just plot. And usually it's in silence. Most of the time, no one knows you're in this abusive manipulation ship because it's done behind closed doors. This person has a different image outwardly than what's going on inwardly and what's going on when those doors are shut and it's just you and them, you and your kids at home. It's like constant war. It's constant back and forth with you having to explain yourself, with you feeling exploited, with you being used, with you feeling like you don't even matter. It's constant criticism. It's constant belittlement. It's constantly, let me get you in your head. Let me keep you in your feelings. Let me do things to hurt your feelings. Let me keep you in a broken state of mind. Let me break and crush your spirit. Let me use your kids to beat you up. Let me use your past to distract you. Let me use lies to confuse you. Narcissists are stuck on a wash, rinse, repeat cycle of foolery and stupidity. And they want you with them. They're miserable and they love company. The role that you play in that narcissist's life is to be a puppet, a doormat of some sort, a soundboard, an emotional punching bag, someone who they can just come back whenever they want. Your life is supposed to be like a revolving door. You're supposed to constantly fall for those hoovers. You're supposed to fall for those false apologies, those fake apologies. You're supposed to, be the one to constantly use your empathy and sympathize with them and their situation. You're supposed to be the one with a good heart, a forgiving heart. You're supposed to be the one who is willing to allow them to control the narrative without speaking up, without defending yourself, without asking questions. You're supposed to just be a fool that's willing to go with their narcissistic flow of life. You're supposed to do what they want, what they require, look how they expect you to look, even eat what they want you to eat. You're supposed to continue to question your morals, maybe even forget your morals, and allow them to demoralize you with their disgusting sexual behaviors, their way of thinking, their way of life. This person is in a relationship with you, but they want to be in a relationship with you, their ex, this new person. I mean, it's never just loyalty. It's never about your opinions, how you feel, how you want it, how you care about it, how you look at it. It's always about them. It's a one-sided manipulationship. The narcissist's highest expectation of you was to see you suffering forever. They wanted to be able to play with your finances, watch you struggle, watch you beg for things you shouldn't have been begging for. Enjoyed watching you overeat and gain that weight. Or maybe it was the opposite, watching you lose your appetite and lose weight. They enjoyed watching you care less about yourself as time went on. They enjoyed catching your weak moments on camera. They expected you to hang on to those empty promises. They expected you to keep on being hopeful for the future. They expected you to believe that they were going to change. They expected you to believe that they really loved you. They thought they knew you well. They thought they had enough to hold against you, use against you. They thought they did enough damage to keep you locked in their trap. That's why they're in shock. They're in shock right now because you're doing what they least expected you to do. You started to heal. See, when you start to heal after going through a narcissistic cycle of abuse with someone, whether a parent or a fake marriage or a boyfriend-girlfriend situation or work, friendship, neighbor, it doesn't matter who this narcissist is. The moment you start to heal, they're doomed. They're in trouble. Their show is canceled. Their narcissism is exposed because they immediately start to look like a clown, and they also start functioning like a clown as well. When you start to heal, their games become obvious games. This is when you're like, oh wow, silly rabbit tricks are for kids. Because you thought I was going to be usable. You thought this was a permanent situation of you having an emotional slave or a sexual slave or a punching bag or someone to throw insults at. Okay, well, this is the moment where all of that comes to a stop. This is when you become brave and bold, courageous. This is when you become a total nightmare to the person who was making your life a living hell. They become completely shocked when you're no longer that person that they misunderstood. Because they really took your kindness as a weakness. They took your love as stupidity. They took your patience as you just don't love your life, or you don't care about your life or your future. This is where they got it really messed up at. The moment you started to heal, you took all power back. This is when they lost all their power. This is when they became scared of you because you knew how to control your own life. This is when you showed them who the real boss is, who a real queen is, who the real king is. This is the moment you tilted your crown back straight, stood up, head high, chest high, and you kept it pushing. You kept walking. This is the moment you stopped falling for any excuse you ever made or they ever gave. This is the moment you looked at them exactly how they were to be looked at. Evil. The devil. This is the moment you realized this wasn't for you. You made a decision in your heart and in your mind and your soul and your body, your spirit. This is when you finally became done They never expected you to be done like this. They never expected you to go this far. They didn't think you would change the things that you're changing. Your whole life is different. You're no longer reachable at the same number. You probably don't even reside in the same address. Mentally, you're a different person. Emotionally, you're much stronger. It's too bad they had themselves totally convinced that everything you did, all the sacrifices you made, how much chances you gave them, what you overlooked, made you a fool, made you stupid, made you weak. And now they're seeing a strength that they've never seen, that they never saw coming. Now they're somewhere thriving in sickness because you're glowing and you're healing. The tables have turned. They're in shock. They can't believe that this is the new you. They can't believe that this is you. They can't believe that you were even capable of tapping into this person that they're seeing now, because they're watching you from the sidelines. They're watching real hard. Those fake numbers, those weird social media accounts, you better believe it's them. The person calling that's not saying anything on the other line, you better believe it's them. They're in utter disbelief that you have understood the power of your silence. They cannot understand how you are no longer feeding into their game, because maybe they had you entrapped in that game for a very long time. They thought they had you. They thought they had it going on. They're in shock. They weren't expecting to lose like this. They're drowning in defeat because you woke up and you became more of a monster than what they could have ever imagined. They needed your energy and you took it back. Now they're spiraling in sickness. They're waking up sick. They're going to bed sick. And they're trying their hardest to pretend when deep down inside they're rotting. They don't have you to drain anymore. They don't have you to use anymore. They're getting old now, and now they have to retrain and reprogram somebody. They spent 10 years on you. They thought they were going to retire with you. But you made that discard permanent. You made that cutoff permanent. You weren't playing. They least expected you to be this serious. They didn't know you could put your foot down like that. They can't believe the version of you that they're seeing. They ready to take you to court for your kids and all your money. That's how shocked they are. Now they're ready to get dirty with it. That's how shocked they are. They're shocked that you're actually figuring all this out. Because maybe now they're going to make sure they hang on to this new person. That's all they got. This might be their last option. They're shocked because you're doing what they least expected you to do. You accepted you. You loved on you. You're loving on you. You're pouring into yourself. You're showing them that you're more than capable of being your greatest self. They thought you were your best self when you were with them. No, that's because they saw you as a servant. You were just an object. But when you disconnected from that thing and you took your power back and you started to move in self-love, you started to fight for you and no longer them, it showed for itself who the true queen is, who the real one is here, who the real king is. They can lie to themselves, they can lie to the world, but they'll always be in shock knowing that you don't have to do that. You're standing 10 toes down on business by continuing to be your true self, your true authentic self. You ain't lying. You ain't trying to create an image that's you're just doing your thing. You're healing. You're working. You're grinding. You're seeking support. You're healing. You're educating yourself. And you're growing stronger and wiser. They least expected you to really embody the strength that you have and to really let your intelligence shine through your pores like this. They weren't expecting this from you. They'll forever be shocked. They're going to drive themselves crazy trying to figure out how to pull you back in. Or they're going to drive themselves crazy trying to figure out how to get another person like this. And because they're stuck on this cycle, they're going to get the same results every time until they burn out and fall off the face of the earth. You put them in such a shock mode that they're not going to make it. They're desperate now. Desperate to replace you or desperate to return you. They're shocked because none of it is working. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please drop a comment below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and for all information on how to work with me, reach me, talk to me, purchase MamiSoTrue merchandise, and all that good stuff is below in the description box. Until next time, beautiful people, keep thriving, stay blessed, and stay true. Bye, guys.